Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. It is Speak on It Monday. Speak on It Monday. It's me. It's your boy and my favorite, my only co-host.
Your only co-host. I'm still your favorite co-host. I can be that too.
and my only co-host, the little diva. And we
Hey
are
y'all,
here.
hey.
We have a special guest with us tonight. Y'all gonna look, y'all. I dropped my phone. I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm doing, so you know I always be transparent. Look, I got to try to get this thing here because I need to share to our special guest's page so she can share it to her people. So y'all have to bear with me in my oldness while I try to figure out how all this processes work. Okay, y'all know I ain't the most computer smart fella. But anyway, look here. Good evening, everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We are going to have a fantastic show. This month, as oh Lord, it's almost over. This month, as we're winding down, we're celebrating women. And it has been a blessing. It has been a blessing for this old boy to sit here and have some fantastic guests join us. And tonight we have another extraordinary guest that has a story, that has a journey that is going to bless this platform with it. And I am honored. And I'm about to shut my mouth and let my co-host talk while I go do this thing right here. Go ahead, co-host, because I'm gonna try to work on this old thing right here. Don't y'all just
Just to throw me out there. Just threw me out there. So, as he said, we do have a special guest. And first, I want to make sure that everyone knows that it is Women's History Month, which is so important because women have done so many spectacular things in this world, and we continue to do so. Lots of things could not be done without some of these women that have paved the way for us and continue again to do so. But today we have Miss Kendra on, and I'm so excited because she's an educator. I have so many educator friends, and so I read her bio, and it was like, wow, it is so exciting to see your. I've been hearing a lot lately. What is it? What's her name? Oh gosh, She just won an award. Oh, y'all know Moesha. You know who I'm talking about? Oh my gosh, she's on the new show, the teaching show Abbott Elementary. You know what I'm talking
Cheryl.
about, though, right?
Yeah, I think I know who you're
Okay.
talking about.
Well, she just won an award. I'm gonna tell y'all in a little bit. It's just on the tip of my tongue. She won an award, and she talked about never let anyone say that it's too late to win or too late to do things. And I noticed that you went back to school to get your degree after you realized working at the daycare that that's what you wanted to do. So
Yeah.
that is something that always impresses me. People going, I went to school at a later time as well. And so yes. So welcome to speak on it. But I just want to highlight that as far as you, and I know you have so many more things that I read about. I was gonna post it on Facebook, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna let her talk about it tonight. So we're gonna open the floor so on Chat with Trina, we have questions. Country Boy is trying to trade me to where we just listen. What is that?
yeah. Cause she look, and I'm grateful for my co-host because she got look, and well, you're an educator too. You probably
Right.
got a list over there. She have a list of things. She be like,
Well, look, I
I do
have this
not.
so I can
oh
take some
my God,
notes.
she done broke out her book. Oh my,
That is so funny. You gotta keep them lists. You gotta keep those lists.
You gotta
But
have it.
you gotta have it. But I'm going to in the name of my co-host, Mr. Louisiana Country Boy, I'm gonna let you have the floor. And then at the end, yes, I will definitely have some follow-up questions. The
oh
pop
y'all.
quiz.
I'm just floored. I don't know. Look here, y'all. Two educators. They both done whipped out notebooks. Okay, I got a principal and a student. I got a principal and a teacher sitting here. So y'all know I'm in trouble tonight. Boy, Lord have mercy.
That
Oh
is too
my.
funny.
Oh wee, oh
Did you
wee,
see
oh.
his post? It says he's going to the principal's office.
I thought that was hilarious.
I thought it was so funny. I sent him the flyer because I said, I'm gonna let him post it because he's gonna have something more funnier to say than I will. So, and I opened it up. I was like, Yes. Okay. Go ahead. So we gonna jump right in this thing. You ready?
Yes, I'm as ready as I'm gonna get.
Let's roll.
Well, look, all you got to do is sit back, relax, and just be yourself.
All right.
We ain't gonna bite up in here. Uh,
Uh,
look here, and I'm gonna like here. If folks don't like it, this is what old country boy always say. This is what I always say. Okay, you know what I tell them? Look
What?
here. If you don't like what's on here, you got a finger. Just keep on strolling.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
you,
But what
you
I
ain't
like
got
is that he said the stuff I can't say because the people I know they beat me up if I say anything. But he said it ain't no problem.
Yeah, you look. If you don't like it, you ain't got to come. I don't like what you're doing. Keep strolling.
Keep scrolling.
It is okay because we still gonna be here.
Mhm.
It's okay to say no.
So
And,
keep
you
going.
know,
Say
I
no.
know some of them come on here because they nosy.
Well, we need them to be nosy so they can go. Yeah, I don't need
Stick
to
around. Stick around. You might learn something.
might learn something.
Well, look, Kay, have your way. It is your floor. Um, I know that you have, and I'll say this, and I'm gonna shut my triple trapper. You are an incredible woman. And first of all, we appreciate you coming. I know the things that you have accomplished. I know some of the things. I read your bio, and I was like, oh, wow. You have that, and I say it a lot, and me and my co-host share this. When people talk about what you can't do, and you too, the thing I end this show with is if God has given you a vision, don't let nobody tell you what you can't. You too old. You too this. You ain't this. It's yours. It's
Amen.
yours. And what you have done, you are living proof that you can do it. That you
Exactly.
can do it. You can do it. So share whatever it is that you want to share in the way that you want to share. I'm gonna try to cut this old contraption off over here, and I'm gonna shut my mouth, and I'm gonna eat me some. Hey, look here. I'm gonna make. I got me some more raisin nuts. I'm gonna got me some. I'm gonna sit here.
Now I thought you said that you were going to be my friend since I'm trying to be on a quote unquote 80-20
I
diet.
said I wasn't gonna drink no Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay. I'll take anything. You shouldn't be eating candy because I haven't had any sweets today and I'm really
Oh,
having withdrawals.
okay. I
So,
won't eat. I won't eat my chocolate then. I'm gonna put it. It's sugar free.
well, we are ready for Miss Kendra to come on with her story because I am so excited to hear it come from her.
Well, basically, I came from humble beginnings. I started my education in Louisiana. I started at Southern University. I knew early on, even in maybe eighth, ninth grade, that I wanted to be an educator. So, well, earlier than that, maybe fifth grade, because I was one of those kids when the teachers was giving things away. I was one of the one going through the trash pile, taking it and taking it home and playing school during the summer. So I knew then, okay, this is what I want to do. So I ended up starting at Southern University, and I took a detour, started a family, and decided, okay, I'm school not for me. But once I looked at it and I realized that I wanted my kids to see me accomplish something because I was doing little jobs within the school system and I was still teaching, but I just was not the person that was in charge of doing the lessons. I was always the one assistant. So I wanted that hands-on experience, which I said if I go to school, I could get that same opportunity. So at 27, I decided 3 kids later that, hey, I'm going back to school because they need to know their mama started something and she's going to finish it. So at 32, I graduated from Louisiana State University. Once I graduated, I had in my mind, and I'm gonna say this because God told me, if you stay in Louisiana, you're gonna die in your mess. He had an
Mm.
assignment here in Houston for me. I did not know that I knew I was supposed to be here, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay in Louisiana. And it's like, no, you need to go to Houston. And I have flourished ever since I've been here. Once I got here in 2003, um, never dreamed of having a master's, never dreamed of going back to school. But not only did I go back, I went back and got a second master's. because I got impatient. My first master's is in principal education management. That job wasn't coming fast enough. So I said, oh, I'm going to get me another master's in instructional technology. Well, none of it happened until 12 years later. So
Wow.
I look at my story as I started as a daycare worker. Then I moved to Head Start, was a van driver / social worker, then a paraprofessional. And then once I graduated, I got a teaching certification, came here, started teaching. And like I said, I didn't dream of doing anything else. But once I got here, got my master's, I'm like, I want to be a principal. I want to do this. I want to not just help the students, but I want to do the overall parents, teachers, the whole packet, the community. So that's what led me to say, okay, let me get my master's so I can help in a different way. I'll say it was a journey because I was a teacher. I took jobs. I took a teaching job. Then I was like a specialist, like a science specialist. So I did that for a year. Then I moved from classroom teacher to like a lab technology teacher. So I did technology and yearbook. So I did that for like 3 years. And then finally I got a job outside of the classroom, but then it was with the administrative building. And I realized I did that for like 6 months and I'm saying something's missing. Something is truly missing. So I realized that my skill was to give back to the students, not to be sitting in the office. Because, yeah, I was behind a computer. However, I was not giving back like I am designed to do, to inspire, to encourage. So I went back and I got a principal job at a charter school, but that closed. So I didn't, had to go back to the classroom. I'm like, Lord, you bring me to a principal job and the school closes. What are you telling me? So long story short, it took me another 4 years, 2 years in the classroom, and no, another 5 years, 2 years in the classroom, and then 3 years, one as an and 3 years as an instructional coach. And by year, I guess, 16 is when I transitioned into a principal job, assistant principal job. And I've been doing that ever since. So to say the least, I'm grateful because I learned something. I realized once I got the assistant principal job that I was on a journey, that it was different things I needed, different tools I needed to be successful on where God was taking me. So at first, when I look back at it, I was mad because I wanted it then. But I learned, I finally said, hey, you know what? Had I gotten it then, I wasn't going to be equipped. So I feel now I'm equipped to serve God people. Even though I'm in an educational setting, I can still serve in various capacities. So that's my story.
Wow.
In
a nutshell.
In a nutshell. In a nutshell.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. I say wow.
And I'll say this, I've had some struggles because I lost my son 8 years ago. And I still had to go to work, still had to encourage folks because just because I lost my son, folks still didn't stop having problems. And they were coming to me and I'm like, I can't even do my job. I can't grieve. But I had to put that to the side and say, hey, the work still must go on. You still must service God's people. So I put that aside and I kept going. And I'm like, why do I have to help these people when I'm needing help myself? But it prepared me for this job because I use my trials, my tribulations, my loss, everything that I've had. I use that to my advantage when I talk to the students. When I see them going in another direction, I stop them. I say, hey, this is what happened. This is what could happen. This is what road you want to take. So I use everything that has transpired thus far in my life as a pivotal point to help another child that may be able to be helped.
Wow. That's I was going to ask you that, and then you already answered it. Because so many of us, we want what we want when we want it. And when we get, as you said, you get frustrated, you get aggravated because why can't I have it now? Um, and I've had this conversation that it's about preparing us for it. That preparation, because where we're at and what we're going through or whatever it is we may be dealing with is not the end. That's just a learning phase. That's just something in there. You're there to get something out of it because there's something greater coming. Um, and yeah, what you said is so true. If you get something that you ain't prepared for, you don't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how to handle it. That's that. Wow.
And that's funny that so I wrote down some things
Okay.
that you said. I got patience, tenacity, faith, trust, wait on God, and He's not going to give you what He doesn't think you're ready for.
Exactly.
What I got out of what you said,
Absolutely.
and it's funny, all of that. Again, not turn the story to me, but Country Boy and I talk. Well, I talk to Country Boy about it, but I tell him that when we talk about finances, sometimes I want a different job that's going to pay this amount of money, and you're ready for it now. Mm-hmm. But he has to show you. He wants you to learn how to deal with what you have now before he's going to give you more. And exactly. I heard you say that in your story, but even though you're speaking of something different. Mm-hmm. Yes, so that's like full circle what I got out of that. Mm-hmm. I thank you so much.
And I also want to add that I've been to various schools and various places, and I feel like I'm there for a reason. It's something for me to get or someone that I'm supposed to touch. So I used to complain, but I don't complain no more because I say I'm on an assignment. I don't know when my assignment is up. I just know I'm on an assignment, and I want to inspire, encourage, and reach every person that I'm within reach to, even if it's a hug or smile or sometimes, you just never know. So I know that I am on assignment. I'm not just there by accident. Because I've been in Sheldon 6 years. I've been at 3 schools. I'm there for a reason.
Yeah. So how you mentioned that you were in all these roles prior to becoming into education and being an assistant principal, and of course being a principal too at the charter school. So I always think it's really cool when you've done all the other jobs. So when you become the leader, you know how everybody in those jobs feel. Some people who have been allowed to skip for whatever reason, some of those things, and they don't get it. So what is your leadership style because you've had all these experiences?
Well, I'm pretty laid back. I'm not one. I believe that everybody has a job. I'm more of a collaborative leader. I'm more of a team player. I'm not the one that I have just because I am the assistant principal. I have all the answers. No, it takes a collective effort. So I lead by example, and I allow people to hone in on their craft. I'm not the smartest person there. So you may know something I don't know. Let's come together, collaborate, get the job done. I look at it as no I, is no me, it's we. Because at the end of the day, we're there to service our students. We're not there for ourselves. And that's just my leadership style. And I also say that I'm only one step away from going back to the classroom. So that's how I treat everything when I'm leading, when I'm working with teachers, working with students. I'm only a step away. I can go right back to that position.
Right.
Wow.
And that is so true, especially with the state of education as it is. You just never know.
You're right.
Before I know Country Boy will say, let me just ask one more thing. the pandemic, that created all kind of chaos, but it also, in my opinion, brought some positive things of things that we learned about ourselves, learn what we can really do, learn how to really stretch the needle or whatever. How did you handle that at that time?
It was tough because I was locked in the house with 2 kids, my daughter and my grandson. So it tested my patience. But I was because I was assistant principal, I was able to go into the office. So that helped me a lot because I didn't just sit at home during the pandemic. I was able to go to the office and do some work and kind of, facilitate some things from the school. versus just sitting at home.
At
It was
home.
tough, but we did Zoom and Group Me and all of those things. Class Dojo,
Yeah.
those things to kind of keep in touch with everyone. So,
Memes.
yes, yes,
Memes.
yes. So all of that, Google Meet, we did all of
Mhm.
that. So we kind of tried to stay in touch with everyone as much as possible. And, like I said, it was more of a hands-on because I was in a leadership role.
Yeah.
And it was expected of me to kind of be a little bit different than sitting at home, doing everything. So
And I'm sure you had to help with keeping the morale going and the scariness of utilizing the technology. Because I'm sure you had teachers who were like, oh my God.
yeah. But for me, I coached, and I'm more of a coach type person. So those that said I can't, yes, you can. Here's how you're gonna do it. And so those people I would kind of take under my wing and say, here, this is what we're gonna do. This is, your lesson plans to do here. And I would walk them through because I feel like you shouldn't, if you know a person is struggling and they have a problem in an area and you're strong in that area, why not grab that person and say, hey, I'm not taking over, but here, let me assist you so we can get the job, so you can get your job done. And that's kind of what I did. Just made sure everybody was able to, the ones that didn't like technology, couldn't stand technology, had a way to get their job done and meet with their students.
Definitely.
Wow. Well, if I can just chime in for a minute with all you educators over here, so you educate
I
this
knew he
whole
was gonna
country,
go there.
educate this whole country boy here.
Whatever.
Well, look, I was, as I'm sitting here, and my bigger is I want to ask you because you've been in the business, you've been in education for a while. Two things, I guess. One, you've seen how it has changed.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the structure. Um, what has been some of the changes that you've seen? One, and on the flip side of that is where you are now, and if given the opportunity or when that door, if that's what God has for you, that door for you to open up to be in a higher state, and I'm not even talking about principal, maybe superintendent. What are some things that because you walked it, you walked this thing, and you've seen the children, you've seen the changes, and you've seen, I'm sure seen the parents, and some of us parents can be but you've seen this. What is it that you've seen that's been the biggest game changer? And what do you see that you can offer to be the bigger game changer?
I think the biggest game changer came when pandemic started and everybody had to go to technology. So for me, it kind of took away some of the paper pencil, the traditional form of teaching. So I'm seeing where now we're more relying on technology to get the job done versus what we're accustomed to. So that has been a huge game changer. Early on, even pre-K, they have to come equipped and ready to use technology, whatever facet it is. So for me, that's a big change because when I started, it was paper, pencil, chalkboard. And now it's like, nope, you need a laptop. If you don't have a laptop, you can't do anything because that's where we're going. We're pushing away from the paper pencil method. And even with doing algorithms, there's methods now, there's software that they can use to get the algorithms done. So it's a lot out there. I saw a lot of programs developed to kind of help facilitate online learning. Mm-hmm. So that's what I see. We're pushing more to this face to face, online teaching and learning.
Wow. Is that it? Do you? Well, and I don't know because kids are so smart these days. Lord have mercy. You get him a computer, boy. I mine 3 years old. I bring her here. She be done work more stuff than me. But is that how does that fit? And I guess as an older fella, because I didn't like you. I came up with a chalkboard. You had a number 2 pencil. I don't even know if you had tell a kid now about a number 2 pencil, they probably look at you like you crazy.
What is that?
What is that? What is a pencil? Yes.
But and I'm sure that the kids adapt to it really quick.
Mm-hmm.
But is that beneficial to take? Well, let me see. How am I trying to say this? One thing is and like history, and that those things are history. You know how we gravitate away from and we become so attached to this and doing this. Does that limit the ability of the things that I've seen society lose? Conversation, being able to have a conversation with another person because you're so tied into doing these things,
Mm-hmm.
interacting with one another because we don't know how, because we sit at a table or we sit in the lunchroom or wherever and we doing this because
Mm-hmm.
the person across from me, I don't even have a conversation with. What
Mm-hmm.
is your take on that aspect of it as being a educator?
Well, I think what I see a lot of kids are losing the problem solving, how to the social side of things, how to kind of like we would go outside and play with one another and have conversation, team building, events of things, running, playing, jumping. Now it's more geared toward games, roadblock, this, that, and the third. And I think they're losing that social piece, how to problem solve, how to deal with conflict, how to do things like that. So that's what I see a lot of. Um, and I'm imagining,
This is a reminder.
oh, sorry, that's my
Floss.
Alexa.
Okay.
She told me I make the spot.
we talked. See, we were just.
Floss.
So she just told me what I need to do.
Technology live.
Yes.
I just
And I
said
got
it.
a squat. So I think with technology, some of those social skills we're losing. So it's kind of hard to kind of, I find myself a lot of times talking about conflict resolution, how you solve stuff, because when you have a device and you're not learning how to share because you have your own device.
Right.
So that's a lot of what I'm seeing. I think we can bring back some of those skills like social skills, how to cope, how to team build. We can bring those back, but how do you compete with Roadblock, these other games that they're playing? That's more important than the being physically connected to another person. I hope I answered that question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just do. And look, I don't know if you was asking me. I don't know how you do it. But I think what it requires, for me, what it requires is because I have a little one coming up. It requires not what the educators do, but it requires at home. Yes, my little one plays and does that, but we also, you know, here I got to go get some flowers and some seeds because we're gonna be planting here
Oh,
coming
I
up
was
pretty
like,
soon.
what?
Yeah, yeah, she wants to
You get
plant.
some flower and seeds. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gonna, but we'll be out, and it's those things that she still likes to go outside and draw on the sidewalk. She still
Yeah.
wants to go and ride the bike.
Mhm.
These things that when I came up, everybody had a bicycle.
Everybody had a bicycle. Exactly.
I'm from a little old town up there in Louisiana. The college campus. Honest to God, this is no lie. Back when I was coming up, and they call it the yard, and I don't know what they call it down in that place, that down south thing. We
The
ain't gonna discuss.
yard.
We ain't gonna discuss
The
that.
yard.
We ain't gonna discuss that place down yonder,
The
down yonder, down yonder, South Louisiana. We ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, up there, up North Louisiana, where the real schools at. Oh,
Was that a little bit of shade?
where the real schools at up North
He
Louisiana.
tried.
Back when I was coming, it was a thing. Like you could ride through the campus, and that was, whew, like you beat people all over, or what we had at the cafeteria was called the wall. Everybody was sitting on the wall. You ride through there now, it's a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because when do you see kids out, even on college campuses, is they go into class, boom, back in. They go into the cafeteria, boom, they back. You don't see this
Mm-hmm.
the thing anymore.
Mhm.
Um, and some parts of me that I get nervous about is because what happens later on down the road as you talk about these social skills. Um, what happens when you, and I don't know what job's gonna be like. Maybe they don't even have job interviews back then. Maybe just do it on the phone and just, that's how you interview. I don't know. But what happens? What
Mhm.
happens when you talk about this is real.
Mhm.
What we see in today's society is a lot of stuff that goes on is because nobody knows about conflict resolution.
Exactly. Exactly.
I only know what my game told me to do. This is what they do on the game.
Exactly.
Um, so
Exactly.
that's just my, and I
Mhm.
just try to with mine. I know that it has to be this thing. This hey, let's yeah, you can still do that. That's just a part. That's what life is. But there's more to it than just that.
Right.
Um, I
And it
know a
can
lot of
turn
parents.
into, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna say I know a lot of parents love it. They love the fact that I'm gonna give them this thing right here, and they gonna go on over yonder, and
Mhm.
I ain't got to work. Now, see, here's the other thing, and I think I shared with my co-host about this. Here's the other thing that we give these kids this thing, but we don't monitor that thing.
Exactly. 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 And I will say they're on TikTok and everything else doing some stuff and seeing some stuff and some of it's coming out and you're going like, where did they get that from? Oh, they're on YouTube. I let them watch YouTube. So they're those are the devices that's teaching them.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of that, and it's scary because if YouTube is teaching, how can you unprogram that?
Right,
Mhm.
right,
And it
right,
takes for a parent to do both. Now, it takes for a parent to be there to monitor to say, hey, you can be on here for a certain amount of time, but then you got to get off, whatever. But also, I'm sitting here thinking about some of the kids because, as I mentioned, I'm a wraparound specialist, so I see parents who don't know about parenting skills, and I'm sure you've
Mhm.
had that, who they just don't know any better. They don't know what to do, which is really
Mhm.
hard because you don't want to tell people how to parent their kid, but sometimes you have to be like, look, some little boy was in shorts in 30-degree weather, and you said, oh, but that's what he
Mhm.
wanted to wear. I had to tell the little mama, I am so sorry, but I'm gonna have to say this. He don't have no ones. If it's cold outside, he needs to wear
Put
pants,
your
whether he wants
clothes
to
on.
or not. And then I added my little 2 cents in. I said,
Mhm.
and you gonna bring him to school to get sick, get me sick, take it home to get my people sick. So and I did it in a joking way, but I'm really serious.
Right.
But it's just the
Right.
point that some of these, and I'm not even going to say younger moms because they can be all ages, but mom
All
parents,
ages.
and they may have more than 2 or 3 kids, so they're really
Mhm.
doing the best they can just to
Mhm.
make it day to day. So, but they need, so that part is where I struggle because I know that what we should be doing. I know the kids can't stay on the computer, but then you call a parent and you hear all of this that,
Mhm.
first of all, they barely making it day by day. So it's like, okay, I just need you out of my way for a moment so I can pull
Mhm.
myself together and I pull all my hair out. Mental health is just running rampant now. So
Mhm.
that's where I struggle because I know we need to be parents and not have them with this telephone or as my little I have a new okay, I have to talk about him. My new great nephew, he watches Miss Rachel.
Mhm.
So gotta talk about Miss Rachel. But anyway, so that's where my struggle comes from. So
Mhm.
as an administrator, do you get that struggle to where you have to students are absent, your kids are absent, so you gotta call and say why they absent for 20 days. Then you talk to
Mhm.
mom is kind of valid reasons. How do you deal with that? Would that make
Well, for me, I'm gonna go back to I kind of have the mother hen syndrome, and
sense?
I've had parents where I've had to talk to them as if they were my own. Look,
Right.
hey, I'm not being mean, but I'm looking out for your kid and I'm looking out for you, and this is what I need you to do, XYZ. And I do it in a joking and a nice manner, and I have
Mhm.
not had any issues. You can ask the parents. I don't, because I try to build rapport with them because they're just as important as anybody else. If you
Mhm.
build rapport with the parents, they're going to go out and talk and they're going to say, well, hey, they care about me here. Even though they may not like what you told them,
Mhm.
they know you care. And
right.
so that's the biggest part. I feel that if they know you care, they're going to be receptive. Hey, Johnny hadn't been to school 20 days. Can you tell me what's going on? Can we help? How can I help? Do I need to come pick him up? That's just me. Do I need to come pick him up?
Right.
I can come pick him up because he needs to be here to get whatever he's needing because we don't want him to fall behind. And I always say, they're behind already from the pandemic. Don't want to push them further behind because now we're trying to play catch up for almost a whole year. For some of these kids, now they're like in maybe third grade, that was pre-K. So now we got to catch them up to speed
to where they're supposed to be. Yeah.
What do you and I know all you educators do this thing. Thank the Lord that it wasn't going on when I was in school. I'd still be there. Y'all have these tests.
What? You are gonna quit playing with us this evening.
Well, you know what? I do get it, and I don't get it. And here's mine, and you educators can correct me. The test that I don't know who even gives them. Is it from the state or is
it's from the state?
I don't know who comes up with them, and is it standardized? I don't even know what the name of it is. All I know is back when I was in school, look here, you either passed or you stayed back yonder, and that was it. It wasn't this testing thing. And here's where I'm going with that is my opinion was that teachers were forced to teach students towards the test and not do what they are good at. As far as teaching, you're teaching towards this standardized test, which is this, and I'm gonna teach them how this because this. I don't know what test is. I ain't never took it, and I'm like, Lord, thank you, Lord. But if it's these parameters that okay, we need to teach this. This is what we need to be teaching them because this is what the state says. But where I came, you got taught things that will be able to help you along in life, not just because everybody's not standard. I guess that's what everybody's not standard and everybody's not good at testing. Everybody ain't a test person.
True.
And I'm giving everybody this same thing, but we're not all on the same level. If that makes any, that's that country thing. That's not in Louisiana though.
You know what it makes me think about? We've all seen Good Times. Y'all remember the episode when they were giving the standardized test to everybody and Michael came home and they were able to read the question, how one person would hear it and another person would hear it. I always think about that episode when we talk about standardized testing, how, they talk about Johnny had 4 rooms. Well, Jimmy didn't have but 1 room and the whole family was in the room, So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Pretty much. We prepare them for it. Kind of give them different tools they can use. So I'm not gonna say it's just teaching is geared toward the test, but it's geared for our motto is we prepare you for college to be college or career ready. So we're not just teaching them, you got to take a standardized test. We're teaching them how to be ready for that next level. So it's just not test, but yeah.
And I'll say I've noticed it over the years that it has changed. When my daughters, when my first daughter, it was a TOS test. When those tests first came out, I think there was a fear. So at that time, I think administrators, I think they were kind of, I don't want to say teaching for the test, but that's all was being put in. I remember my kid, the strategies is what they were calling them back then. But I think back then, because it was so new and they knew that this had to be done for, whatever the mandates or whatever it was. So I think at one time years ago, it was more like what you're saying, Country Boy. But I've seen the change, and I've seen it come along to where they are still teaching, and not so much of what it was at that time. If that helps.
Yeah. Okay. I told you.
I've observed. You think the same, Kendra?
I think so, and I think some of the questioning is relevant now that they've been made aware that some kids, it's well versed. Because I'll say this: I was invited to go and vet a test in Austin, so I got to sit in and pick questions and see what questions wasn't applicable for that grade level. So now they're more cognizant of what kids are facing and kind of trying to make it a well-rounded thing and not just Johnny has 4 rooms, like you said, and Johnny don't know what a room is because they only have that one room they stay in. So they're kind of making it relevant to the students' needs.
That's good.
Country Boy said the word superintendent earlier. Do you aspire to do that ever? You knew where I was going with that, huh?
No, ma'am. No, sir. Not at all. No. Not at all.
That is so funny.
I'm not going back to school for nothing else. I am 53 this year, and I'm not going back to nobody else's school. So no.
Yeah. I got a last certificate. I'm trying to finish graduate certificate. When I finish it, that's what I said. I'm done. But and I'm backing up to some of the other things that you said. Did you have family here when you decided to move here?
Nope.
Really? What made you choose Texas and Houston?
I'm gonna say this. Growing up, we would visit Astroworld every year, and I loved Houston when I visit Astroworld. So I prayed about where I need to go when I finish school, and it was like I need to be in Houston. And I came here, myself and my kids, and we made it do what it do. And we've been just here, so nope, didn't have any family. It was tough at first, but once I got that start, then I have a set. I always say I have a set of older and I have a younger one. But the older 3, they all graduated from school in A-Leaf, and my younger daughter, she's here in Sheldon with me. So I've seen the changes there in education from when they started to now with her. So
it's definitely different. It's definitely different.
How is that? How does she feel about that? I'm just thinking. How does she be like, oh Lord, Mama, the principal, I can't do nothing.
Well,
I mean, I would be like, I don't even want to go there. Can I go to HISD? Can I go to Spring? Can I go somewhere? I don't even want to.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm old school, and I go to the school and I say, look, I work in the district. Any problems, let me know. And I still say that to this day in high school. Let me know. I was fortunate. I took her. She was the only kid that I took with me every school I was at. Every school I went to, she was there. So she was glad when she got to middle school because I was not there. She's like, I bet you not gonna follow me. I said, I bet I can, but I'm not.
You don't know what I can do. But
you don't know what I can do.
Yeah.
I say, play with me. I'll go get a job teaching special ed.
But you can get one of them anywhere right now.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, I just thought about that. Ooh, that would be like, Mama.
Yeah.
Wow. And to get that thing, we gonna send you to the principal's office. No. I ain't do it.
And it's so funny that you said that. I got a little boy. It's 2 or 3 little boys that's just, they be wilding sometime. And I don't know if they forget how old I am or if they forget I'm an adult. But even today, I was at I did lunch duty, and they was just being silly and doing stupid stuff, like silly, like the holding on to the sanitizer machine. Let go of the sanitizer machine. And so they looking at me steady touching it, like trying me. And you have to remember that you know who you are, that you need your job, that these not your children. And I said, I'll tell you what, let me just go ahead and send you to Miss Trent. That's the principal. Mm-hmm. And if I tell you, they immediately like, oh no.
They're like,
one of them, I ran into him. He running around the cafeteria like in a circle. Like what? I ran into him at the Kroger with his dad. Mm-hmm. Little bitty boy, big dad. And he had like he didn't know who I was.
I mean, you know who I am. You know.
I said, I'm Miss Lowry. I work the school he work at. Little baby was quiet as just quiet, like praying I ain't gonna say nothing. So the next day I saw him at school, he was still quiet. I said, I saw your dad. Why you act like you know who I was? I said that's gonna be our secret because I'm gonna tell him next time. I know how big your daddy was, but the point is that they do that discipline thing for most of them. They still can get straight real quick.
Oh yeah, they can.
So yeah, speaking of that, because I know what mine was like. We had to find. So what is your discipline skills with the students? Do you like come in? I mean, I know how I discipline. I mean, but do you? I mean, and I know how I got discipline.
Well,
How do you go about handling that? How do you?
I'm gonna say this. I pretty much talk to the students how I want them somebody to talk to my grandkids or my kids. I remember that they are human too, and I'm firm, but I'm fair. And for the most part, I can get students to do what I ask them to do. But you have to remember that you don't know what's going on at home.
Right.
And you got to take that into account too. And I talk to them, hey, what's going on before I assume anything. And I think that's the key part, talking to them, trying to realize that they make mistakes, they do stuff, don't throw them away just because they made one mistake. So that's what I do. I mean, like I said, my heart is big, so I don't want to see nobody hurt, doing nothing wrong, but at the same time, you're going to do what you're supposed to do. And I always bring it back to safety. Hey, you're doing XYZ. I have to keep you safe. It's my job to keep you safe and your job to help keep yourself safe. And that's how I go about my discipline.
And even in I'm at an elementary school, and even there, you realize that when you listen, you just like literally listen to them. They're so happy, and that's when they come to you more. When they saw she like literally listened to me, she didn't just fuss at me. She like listened, and I treat them like little tiny miniature adults. You know what I mean? And they tell you. They actually tell you too much, but they tell you stuff. Your mama wants you to tell me that.
Let me make you laugh. I heard you say about lunch duty. I used to do 5th grade lunch duty. And all of a sudden I started doing 3rd grade lunch duty. Well, now they have this thing called cheese touch. And you have to have your fingers like this.
Yes.
With my fingers, I go, cheese touch. I say, stop cheese touching me. And I think they think that's just the funniest thing. She got the cheese touch. And I'm like,
and you have to figure out what they're talking about.
Yes, I'm like,
what is that?
Yeah.
Because there's some dance that they're doing that they say they're not allowed to do anymore. So I think they were trying to trick me, and they said, "Well, we gonna show you how." No, because if they told you don't do it, don't do it. I'll go look it up and I'll find out what, but don't you do it. But funny story as you mentioned to show you how we took a bunch of kids to the dentist. I think I may have told you, Country Boy, to the dentist the other day. So they had their little paperwork to go into the dentist. Little girl, they pulled out her paperwork. She looked. All of a sudden, I heard her say, "Oh my God, they're going to talk to us about having babies." What could they possibly be talking about? So I said, "Girl, give me them papers. Let me see what you're talking about." I look on it. It says sex. You know, male, female. I said, after I had to laugh and giggle to myself, I said, "Baby, that's not what they talking about. They mean, are you a girl or a boy? That's what the sex means." I said to myself, for her to go home and tell her mama that we went to the dentist, they were telling them how to have babies. Like, no, don't need that. But so it was I was gonna do a TikTok about it, to be honest with you. I just forgot. Because it was so funny to me. But it's just the kids are so. I mean, you have them that may go off by the wayside, but kids they're so funny and they're so smart and they know stuff. Right. And I just think like what you mentioned, listening, talking to them like there's somebody and not just kicking them to the curb. Because I mean, I'm sure you've had those students that people are teachers will send them to you over and over and over and over. And you sit there and have a conversation with them and it'd be like,
But I always tell the teachers, hey, you lose your power when you keep sending a kid to me. And I don't know if people realize, but you lose your power because they're going to say, oh, okay, well, I know I'm going to the office, so I get to sit in there and they get to sit and talk with me. So you're not learning. And that's what I tell them a lot of times. Hey, you're not learning sitting in here with me. I mean, you can follow me doing my job, but at the end of the day, your job is to be in the classroom. So I think if a lot of people realize that, just talk to them. I know it's difficult when you have 20 some odd students,
Yeah.
but if you get to know each one of them intimately and find out what they like, what they don't like, when they're having those trying times, they'll do what you ask them to do because they know you genuinely care.
Right.
And they feel it.
Mhm.
They can feel it. They can feel when you don't, and they definitely feel when you care.
Right.
And I have to, and I so agree with you, but however, no, but I'm gonna just eliminate it. I'm gonna say but. And just
I was gonna
eliminate
say you eliminate what you said. Okay, but I'm just joking.
it.
Okay.
No,
Let
however,
me hear
what
this one.
I believe as a parent, it starts at home. I am so on that people miss is okay. I just want to send little Johnny off to school and let them do it and let them have a job and let them do that. And then that's not how it works.
Mhm.
Um, I've got two kids, two daughters. One's in the 30s and then the other one's 3. Yes, that was me, y'all. Um,
We are not judging over here, honey.
We're not judging.
We are
I,
not
I don't
judging.
know.
No judging zone.
Look, Kay had that whole eye. She was like, "You did what?"
You could have glazed over. We probably heard it, but not heard it.
Yes.
but
Yes.
but with each one of them, and sometimes people even with my older, I've always had a conversation. She's gotten in trouble, and her and I talk about the time she got in trouble with her mama. I can't remember what it was, but what she remembers is that I came and I had a conversation with her.
Mhm.
I didn't, mind, and even with my little one, with the executive producer, we have a conversation. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna talk to you. Um, why do you think you need to do that? What do you know? Because I want to know where you're. I want to have a. I'm not. I'm just not a screamer.
Mhm.
And I think too many kids get so screamed at that they don't hear anything anymore. And what you said is when they sometimes, honest to God, I'm gonna tell you parents, I'm gonna tell you parents right now with these two educators, sometimes getting away from y'all is a relief. They glad to go to school because they sick of hearing you scream and holler at them to get up in the morning. No, I don't know if parents even wake. I wake up my kids with a good morning, a kiss, and a hug, instead of a screaming from the other room because you got up late. Now you mad because you didn't get them up because you let them stay up all night. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't went off on something. But anyway,
You did. You did.
but our job as parents is to have them ready to go meet these educators who are there to educate them, not raise them.
Mhm.
To educate them, to send these precious children off the best possible way we can. Sometimes parents that mean give them something to eat. Okay, that don't mean okay because they can get some food at school. We ain't gonna get them. It means have them prepared to learn.
Mhm. But I'll say this: I've heard that parents send their best to school, so they send their best, and that's where we come in when we kind of try to cultivate them because they don't pick and choose what they send to school. They send their best, i.e., their kids, and that's sometimes the best that they have or the best that they can do.
And that's what I was gonna piggyback on that to say I get what you're saying, but we're looking at we're looking at the ability to be able to do that and the ability that how to do that. You know how to, because I'm not gonna lie, I did use the screen. Y'all get up, go get that bus. But
I still scream. I'm not gonna lie. And my daughter told me, "Mama, you scream too much."
I did do
Yes.
that. But and now I gotta go take you to school. Oh,
Yes.
it's only popping now. But and I guess what I want to say, I definitely hear you, and that is their job. But we also got to remember those that don't know.
They don't
They're
know.
doing the best they can, and there are those that ain't doing the best they can.
Right.
But we got to think about those that we have to give that extra help, that
Right.
extra tough love. And they may have come from a family. They came from a family that never had somebody to wake them up nicely, or you know what? I have kids that do come and get school free, but they have nothing. They literally have nothing else at home to eat.
Right.
So and that's it's an eye opener to me a little bit. I mean, I knew some things, but being in wraparound, I've definitely I mean, it blows my mind to know that I'm like, why these kids not in uniform? They supposed to be in uniform. What kind of about? They don't have it. They're literally sharing the 2 or 3 uniforms they have, you know. So yes, I understand totally what you're saying, and that's the pretty picture of everything. We got to remember that other side of the parents who
just don't.
They just don't.
And I
thank God for the free lunch and the free breakfast, because some of them, that is
They
the only meal, the food, the only real, what do you call it? Like the full meal that
they get every day,
all day.
And I do, and I get that. I think if parents would take the understanding of the responsibility of parenting and understanding that, and this is how I look at it, and I'm not telling everybody, this is just me. I take it as the greatest gift that God could ever give me was to be a parent. And I take it that responsibility that he said, look, I'm trusting you with this. This mine, but I'm gonna trust you. And that's how I looked at it. And that's what I told with my baby. That's what I did. I gave her back to God, and I said, thank you, God. I know that this is yours, and you trusted me to watch over, to guide, and to protect, and to pour into yours. Now, that's a whole lot of things right there. That's, for me, that's big. Like, so everything I'm doing, I'm taking care of. Let me put it like this. We are house sitting somebody else's house, and they coming back to get it. What do you want that house to look like when they come back? And remember, they're gonna look at you and not the house.
And as I always say to you, though, too, we've got to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I believe everything that I think everything you're saying is accurate. I believe that. But I also know that even in my experience, in my life experience, getting to the point that I know that that my faith in God, that I know where my help comes from. I know that let's just say I have a thing now. I said, what the worst they gonna do? Fire me? Because I used to be fearful to say anything, because like, I've got to have a job. And yeah, we need a job, but you gotta also, I had to learn that you can't just let people beat you down, thinking you gotta have this job. Because I did end up losing my job one time, and God took care of me for 6 whole months. That's the only person. And so that's where my growth was. And I'm 53. I was in my 40s when I got to that point of growth to know, wow. And that's why I'm able to look up and be like, I see you. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. That point, we have to remember those and pull them along with us to let them know that, to help them understand, because they're not there yet. We're there, and you may have been there a long time, but everybody is just not at that maturity level.
No, I totally get that. I totally get that, and that's why, with here tonight, that's why I'm grateful for our guest who says that you can get there. Failure is, there's no excuse for failure. There's no excuse for it. Now, if you make the choice, quit making excuses and just say it was my choice.
I don't want it. And
that's it. You ain't got it.
We have a comment when we get to that point, y'all. It says it's hard for some because of generational curses, which is kind of
true. Well, I look at it like this. That's where resources come in and programs come in, because there are so many opportunities out there now that that parents, individuals can get and latch on to. It comes to, if
it's free, oftentimes
it's free. It's if you want it, and if you don't want it, we can't force you to take it.
See, I get stirred up on them old things. Look here, again, I hear those words, and I have used the words talking about generational curses, this, devil, this, sometimes we be speaking things into things because we using it. I'm not saying an excuse, but look at here. Why can't we say that there's just as many? Because I believe we talk about generational curses. There's just as many blessings out there. I'm not gonna say that yes, it may be, but I'm gonna give it this. But I'm gonna say there's a whole bunch of blessings out here that can cover all of that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we give we want to we speak our own demise. We speak our own demise of what I can. Oh, I can't because mama didn't. No, you can't because you didn't. And you don't want to. Well, this is just
And
how
that's why
I
we have to
was.
continue to preach to them that don't let what is that? Your circumstance. What is that?
Yeah.
They say your
Your
circumstance.
situation create your circumstance.
Yeah. You got to get past. Definitely got to get past it. My mom and dad didn't go to college. Okay, now, but we got to get it together so you can.
Right.
Or go into your career, go and get you a some type of certification or something. Yeah.
And everybody's not, like I said, we talk, one of our things, I would be college and career ready. Everybody is not college material, but get yourself a trade up, because I have a son, he went to college for 1 year. He said, Mama, I'm doing this for you, but I want to drive trucks. I say, stop doing it for me, because when I close my eyes, you will be doing something that you did not want to do. So go do what you do. And he's making way more money than me, and I'm in education. So I'm like,
and there's so many of those fields that's like that. There's so many fields now. What is that? Process technology, and it's so big that San Jack and Lone Star built the same. They buildings across the street from each other with the same process technology program. But yeah.
And I agree. Everybody, and and I'm saying everybody is not college material. Everybody, that's not everybody's thing, and that's okay. But what I say is find your thing. Find your thing. If your thing is drawing, then become the best drawer. It doesn't matter your thing. That thing that's for you, and everybody's got their thing. I don't know what it is, but everybody has it. Doesn't mean
kids have to be open to support whatever that thing is.
Yes, and now I agree with that. Look here, and I say that, that's my theme right there. Look here, just because you want to be a truck driver and everybody talking about now you need to go to school and they don't want to believe in you, then get from around the folks that don't want to believe in you and get around the people that do. Because trust me, just as many folks don't believe in you, there's those that do. You don't have to sit and listen to the negativity to be poured into you. Again, if you choose to sit and listen to it, keyword, that's your choice. That's okay. Just say, look, I chose to listen to them. They told me I couldn't. That's why I'm here. Okay. That's why you're there.
And sometimes the ones that you think not listening, they
yes.
I went into a presentation many moons ago about dress for success. At matter of fact, I was in Summer Creek. I'll never forget. And I was talking to students about dress for success, and I would tell them at that time, things have changed now, but at that time I was just saying, when you go to an interview, don't wear red lipstick. And I was saying because not that it's a horrible lipstick, it makes you bad, but that's what they're focused on. You want them to focus on what's on your resume, what you're presenting to them. So you want to and the little girl was like, and so what you saying with red lipstick? And I'm like, so she challenging me in front of all these people. But I just put it back on her. And I think I kind of said, well, what is it that you want to be? She didn't have no answer. She was just trying to be the class clown.
Right.
So she showed up in my office maybe about 2 weeks later to sign up to do their application for Lone Star. The same little girl that was clowning in front of everybody. And I sort of clowned her back, to a certain extent. But she showed up. They told me it was somebody out there, some student out there, and I went and got her. It was her. And I called her the red lipstick girl. It was her. That meant she was literally listening, but she had to continue, I guess, her charade of being a class clown. Now, she's one that I didn't keep up with because I keep up with a lot of them, but she was one I didn't. But the point was, we do a lot of talking, and they be doing their little clowning and doing their little this, that, and the other. But sometimes you are really getting through.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. That's it for you. You educators, I tell y'all just keep on educating. y'all keep on because it's getting and it's true. It's getting through. It is getting through.
Getting through to even just
somebody.
one. Sometimes they'll pass it on to somebody else. You've even seen. I'm sure you've seen. Can you hush so I can hear? Or you know stuff like that, and that's always cute to me. But I'm gonna just say this too. When we're talking about parents supporting, I would always say when I would give parent presentations, I would tell them, guys, because that's when we were finally getting to the point to where we know everybody doesn't go to college. You know, some kids want to just go into career, or some people want to go into the military. I was telling the parents that it's us, it's our pride. This is us doing this for our pride. It's like, our kid went to Texas A&M, or our kid. That may not be whether your child is going to succeed at. So we've got to back off and let them choose a path, as long as it's a path.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, so that's something that I believe in, and that we just have to back off of our kids, because they'll end up going to college and coming back home next week.
And I feel like just being that support system, and you know, again, everybody is not meant for college, everybody not meant for trade school, but just be a support system, because they may start their own business at whatever they ventured off to do. So just support them. It's at the end of the day, it's their life. If they're trying to do something positive, why not support the positive? Because it's a whole lot of negative.
So much negative.
And stop trying to live vicariously through your children, okay?
Amen.
Do I have to? I'm just
stop it. Just stop it. Leave it alone.
Country boy now the other day was talking about, I shocked him talking about kids vaping in elementary school. Like they caught some kids vaping in elementary. He was shocked. I was like, yeah, you can't imagine what they're doing in middle school, like vaping.
Wait
a minute, Principal. Hold on, Sister Principal. You over there shaking your head. Wait a minute now. All right, look here. Now, listen, y'all. This is disclaimer. This disclaimer from the old country boy. Look here. I don't know nothing about this they talking about right here. I don't know nothing about it, but I'm gonna get some inside information. Okay. These are some things I have heard. I don't know, but
you don't have to know, because you got a 3-year-old that's coming. Exactly. That's why trying to hit you to this stuff so you can understand.
She will be vaping because it's gonna be stuck in her throat. I'm telling you. What's wrong with you, baby?
Disclaimer: we don't have nothing to do with him doing that. Now, so we didn't tell him he can do that. We have no.
I'm telling y'all, I'm from up north Louisiana. We don't got look at all that there. I wish. Look, what you tell them about? What would you tell your daughter about them? Look, you ain't know. Call me.
Call me.
I will pull up.
I'm on my way. I'm pulling up.
Look,
I'm gonna check him or her out of school.
I ain't checking nothing. I'm coming up there in my cowboy boots and shorts.
Don't do that. Don't go up there like that.
Don't go embarrass that baby.
Look, and I'm talking about I'm gonna cut them off, and they're gonna be rich. You know them little.
You are so silly.
That's how I'm from that school. I'm from that one right there. I come from that place. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm gonna ask the question. I come from that place. I got in trouble one time. This is no lie. I got in trouble at school one time. Okay, it was one time. It wasn't even my fault. But I got in trouble, and my mama had came. And she picked me up at my sister's house. My mama came, right, and I was smart. Because when my mama came and got me, I got in the car, in the back seat, right behind the driver. And the reason I was behind the driver, because I know she couldn't. But I know if I
You must have didn't have my mama, because she was driving.
Look, hey, I was close to the door. I was on the door like this. I was hugging that door because I know she couldn't. Yeah. I know I might get it when we get to the house, but we ain't gonna get it while I'm driving. but no, tell me, and yes, I heard about that, and we've had that discussion, like on the for real, about some of the things that are, and I guess that goes back to what we was talking about. Are we watching our kids, and what are we allowing them to be exposed to? Because you're talking about, what was it, elementary or middle school kids doing? How do you even?
And they got older brothers and sisters too, as I mentioned too.
Right. I had a situation where the kid took it out of a step parent's car. So if you leaving things laying around, which that's why you have to be careful, kids pick them up from either siblings, parents, and they think, oh, okay, I can do it. We've had kids to flush them down the toilet. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
It just seemed like it's getting early. Because I told Kendra, I was shocked. I was thrilled when they told me they was vaping. They call elementary kids vaping. What?
Yeah.
What do they even know about this? And that's when I was telling him, I was like, I think it's from older brothers and sisters. I didn't think, but parents, I'm sure too. Yeah, because even with the guns that they picking up from somewhere, bringing them on, campuses or different places or whatever, these things that are happening, which goes back to what you say, country boy. Parents need to watch, need to be careful of what they're allow their kids to see, kind of thing.
And go back to going through book bags, because I was queen of going through the book bag, shaking everything out. What is not supposed to be there is not going to
be in there.
So, yeah, I don't care if you like, and you're going to pick that stuff up too.
I done dumped it all out, but now you got
I just pick it out. You pick it up.
That's too funny. Man, he went through my backpack and made me pick that up. That's how I be doing it in that cafeteria. I don't know if they think people are they maids or something, but they be just leaving that stuff up, just throwing stuff up. So I go by now and be like, is that your plastic bag? Now you know it's your plastic because I see all three of your other plastic bags look like that plastic bag on the floor. Pick that plastic bag up. You know what? Just pick it up for me then. Pick up that bag. So it's something. It is something.
Wow.
But it can be fun. It's really
fun.
Things the kids say, and I mean, I assist with lunch duty because I'm in a different position. But I go one just so I can do my observations stuff. But I also go because it gives me. It gives me every story. It just makes me. I could be a bad mood and go to lunch duty, and somebody gonna say something that's gonna have me laughing for the rest of the day. So.
And that's where you build rapport with the students too, because they see.
Yes.
Because I like I said, I did 5th grade at first, and then I moved down to 3rd, and so the kids are happy to talk. And you don't show up, they're like, "Where were you, miss? I didn't see you." So that gives them something to look forward to.
Definitely.
That's and how is that as a in the administrative aspect of it? And I don't know if you've ever had it. I know. Diva was talking about, some of the students that have come back or that she's followed. How does that? Do you have students that have come back and say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing"?
They remember us, but we don't remember them. I started teaching in 03. So my average kid now, my son is 29, 30. So they're in their 30s, and they'll come back and they say, "I remember you. You was my favorite teacher." So some of them come back and they have kids. I saw one young lady, she was like, "Yeah, you were my 6th grade teacher, and you told me, don't be trying to be grown." And she's like, "Yeah, you told me that, and I didn't try to be grown, and I'm glad you told me that." I'm like, "Okay, well,
That is so funny. That is hilarious.
Wow. But that's, that is amazing. I think about, for me, I'm going to tell you one of the joys that we had a few years ago. We had a class reunion back in our high school class reunion, our 10-year class reunion. Anyway.
10-year class reunion. Whoa. Wow.
Wait a minute. You weren't one of them kids that they kept back, huh?
We both caught that
one. But we had our class reunion, and one of the events we had all of our former teachers from elementary up that were still around. We invited them all to come. And the joy to be able to see them, and for me to be able to say thank you, It meant so much. It was one of the greatest events, and the most wonderful thing about it is that was we've had a few of them that have passed away since then, since that event. But to have had that opportunity to be with them, sit with them, and take pictures with them, to
Mm.
say,
Mhm.
here we are now productive because of what you poured into us. That's a thing that a lot of us should give back to our teachers and
Yeah.
those that have helped us along the way. Not to get so far that we become this and we forget about that. That little old teacher told you don't be fast. You
Mhm.
know.
Don't be trying to be great. We not be great.
But that means something when you poured into a student and they come back, or you poured in and you look up and you go like, my God, they come back and their kids are now going through your system.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
That is a beautiful thing. So what's the next move for you?
I think principal. I think that's my next move. I'm almost at retirement age, sir. So
They ain't finna let you go.
let me go.
That part right there.
See, you know how difficult that's going for both of y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all sitting up here talking about it, but look, y'all have invested so much time into that. And you have to love what you're doing
Mhm.
in order to do, especially education with the whew, Lord. You have to truly love it to be involved in it. So y'all sitting up here acting like y'all gonna be Tom Brady.
But
Y'all ain't
there are
finna
so
walk
many
away.
other things that you can still do to share all of that outside
Yes,
of
yes,
clocking out or being
yes,
there. So many things that we can do.
Yeah, y'all
Consulting.
gonna be Tom
yes.
Brady. Y'all gonna be like, I'm gonna just do one more year.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one more year, and I can retire.
My mind is made up. I called Country Boy one day at lunch and said, hey, guess what? I called what do we work for? TRS?
TEA or TRS.
And asked them how long I got. And they told me, and I'm good. I'm ready. So I'm ready. I got
Look, I can see the light. That's how close I
right at
am.
the end of the tunnel. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. I got
But
stuff
see,
to
wait
do.
a
I
minute.
got stuff
Wait,
to
wait,
do.
wait. Here go the thing. Y'all talking about leaving. However, have you built up the people to come behind you to take your place? I mean, not that they can fill y'all shoes, but have y'all built up those people that are going to be the same and care like y'all? If y'all haven't, why y'all gonna leave us?
Well, I'm sure in Miss Kendra's role, she definitely has.
I have. I coach, I
Yes.
nurture, and I love on. So I'm building as I go out.
As you head and look, y'all can call me.
I'm a phone call away.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Um, I had a question, but I didn't write it down like I should have. You said something about principalship. I can't. I lost it. Sorry.
well, I got a question. Since you talking about going
And
out.
then can I just let you know that the clock is ticking? I'm
Oh,
your
okay, okay, okay. Well, look, this is my last question. Since you're talking about going out, um, I know, and you haven't said that one thing that you love to do. What's that outside activity that you?
Oh, I saw that in the bio.
I am an avid motorcycle rider. Let me tell y'all something. I had a 3-wheeler. True story. I was afraid to drive 2 wheels, and I ended up not having a 3-wheel anymore, and I still wanted to ride. That is where I find my peace, my comfort. Can I tell y'all, I went to Harley Davis. I was afraid of 2 wheels. I took the course, didn't pass it, but my son said, Mom, I'm going to teach you how to ride. He taught me in one weekend, and I have been riding 2 wheels now for 3 years.
Wow.
And I love it. That is how I decompress. I am one with nature. I don't have to deal with nobody but myself. I can listen to my music and I can just get away. It's a freedom
That's nice.
that you just can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I love it. I enjoy it.
What do the kids at the school think about?
They think that is the coolest
I
thing.
know. You get some
Yeah, you ride a motorcycle?
points there.
Yeah, you ride a motorcycle? That's not for you. Yes, it is.
Yeah, but it ain't for you to come with me to do it.
And don't ask me to get on it.
No.
I don't ride nobody.
Funny. That is so funny.
Wow. Well, look,
Well,
that
I
was
think I
my
have
last
answered.
one.
I done asked all kind of questions. Grandbabies. How do you like being a grandparent?
I like it because they can go to their house. I get them.
Little Johnny, hey. All
Hey,
right, go on with your
I
mama.
had one this weekend. Hey, come on. Okay, y'all can take her home now. But I enjoy it. I really do. I try to get them all at not together, but different times. I'll get them and I'll do different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I truly enjoy it.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I want to thank you so much, and I'm gonna say this because Country Boy he got a good closing, so I'm gonna do my little piece of closing right now. But I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I do. Eventually we have something that's coming, something like a conference kind of thing, that we will definitely reach out to you because we'd love for you to be a part of that.
Okay.
It's in the air in our brains. But it's coming. But thank you so much, and thank you for doing all of the things that you have done and continue to do as motivation and inspiration to us and your students and everyone else. Happy Women's History Month, and thank you for joining Speak On. I've enjoyed you so much tonight. Yeah, because we done went way over, so we really enjoyed you. Country Boy have us on here to 10 o'clock for real. He will.
Yes, we're on an hour and almost 30 minutes. The people gonna say, "What the world?"
Are they still talking?
Wait. See, I told y'all. Ain't this such a comfortable place? You just sat here. We just sat here and talked.
And to think I was nervous.
There it is. There it is. Now, I greatly, as my co-host said, I thank you so very much for everything that you are doing, that you have done for the community, for our children, for our future. That's how I look at our children, as our future. And I thank you so much for pouring in, for encouraging, for telling folks, like, for real. If you don't do it, it ain't cause nothing else. It's cause you made the choice not to do it. And I hope y'all go and support her and support everything that she's doing. Man, it's amazing. It is amazing. Okay. My co-host back. She acts like she's back in the country church. She in the country church.
Have you considered writing a book?
Everybody's got a story to tell.
Okay. I just had it when he said that. I thought about she got too much going on not to have. Okay.
I bought me a computer today. My excuse for not writing my book was because I didn't have a computer. God said, "No, ma'am, go get one." So I'm gonna start typing up my "Everybody's Got a Story to Tell." That is the title of my book.
Okay.
And I'm serious when I say that. And
yes,
I've been having it for so long, and so it's time for me to bring it into fruition. I don't have any more excuses. I have my own device, and I can start my manuscript. Yes.
Awesome. I'm sorry, Country Boy, but when you were saying what you said, I thought, wait a minute, we need to make sure she's gonna leave a legacy here.
Yes. That's amazing. And I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. My co-host and I, Speak On It thanks you for taking the time out to join us, to share with us in the world. You are an incredible educator. You're an incredible mother. You're an incredible grandmother. Wait, I'm finna be messy. Little Diva, she ain't on the screen. Little Diva, look here. Let me tell you. Look, she been posting pictures. She got a boo.
Messy
Marvin.
I'm gonna block you.
What a way to end the show.
Look, hey,
With little T, with little T, with little T.
I know she gonna say, hey.
Why is he putting you on the spot?
I know he put me on the spot. I'm gonna say hey to all my friends and family.
That is hilarious. You got it on that one.
But now, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. You are a true inspiration to not just women, but to us all. And I thank you for your courage, for being who you are, and for doing what God has called you to do. Stepping out on faith. Stepping out on faith. And I thank you. So if look, I'm gonna let my co-host end the show tonight. I'm gonna shut up.
He wants to put me on the spot. Well, I'm gonna end with leadership, patience, tenacity, faith, trust, waiting on God, waiting until He is ready for you to be prepared for what He has next. Is what I want to leave us with, and that is what I see of you. That is what I got out of you today, and that inspires me and motivates me. And I just want to thank you for sharing your story with us and being open and transparent, and even laughing with us a little bit tonight. So, do you have any last words?
I just want to say, if you can do it, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. And that's for adults, children, from 0 to 99. It's never too late to accomplish a goal that you have set.
Thank you. And
Amen.
that is, you ready for yours to double down on what she just said? Because I know you got it coming. Let's go.
Old country boy, right here. Speak on it with the little diva and our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful special guest. We're going to leave you with this message right here. If God has put it inside of you, I ain't talking about y'all, but if He's put it inside of you, that point like this. If He's put it inside of you, if He's giving you a vision, then He has provided all the provisions for that vision. So don't be listening to the naysayers and the folks telling you what you can't do, you're too old for this or you're too this for that. Stop listening to them folks. You know what? Use them haters later on to step up. But right now, what you need to do is follow that vision. You follow that dream. I will tell you, little Diva will tell you, and our wonderful, wonderful guest will tell you this. You can do it. And we believe in you. We believe in you. We believe in the vision that you have. Your vision ain't everybody's vision. That's why it's yours. And you keep pushing and you keep pushing. And you don't stop. And then lastly, all this old boy right here gonna say, is look at him. If when you woke up this morning and you open them old eyeballs, if ain't nobody tell you, and then during out the day, you might have been in the evening time. If you didn't hear it during the evening time, looked around, had some folks around you, but you didn't hear it, and wait right here at the nighttime hour. If you ain't heard it, you finna hear it right now. Look here, we collectively, we love you. And we love you unconditionally. And guess what? There ain't nothing you can do about it. We thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. We finna get on up out of here. They told me I done went over my time. Boy, I done ran over triple. But we gone, y'all. We will see y'all. I don't know when we'll see
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Next time we on here, that's when we gonna see y'all. Bye.